Hello, and a very warm welcome back to English Active Listening. I'm your host, Alyssa, and I am so delighted to have you join me today. You know, a big part of mastering English, especially for work, isn't just about getting the grammar right. It's about building your confidence, one word at a time. The vocabulary you choose has real power to change how you're perceived. Not just as a speaker, but as a thinker. Using the right words can make your ideas more impactful, your arguments more persuasive, and your presence more memorable. It's about moving beyond simply being understood to truly being heard. So, in this episode, we're going on a little adventure. We're going to dive deep, really deep, into 10 incredibly useful words that you can start using at work right now. We'll explore the meaning of each word, paint a picture with vivid, easy-to-understand examples, and then give you a moment to practice using them yourself. This isn't just about listening. It's about actively engaging with the language and making it your own. So get comfortable. Maybe pour a cup of your favorite tea. And let's begin this journey to a more confident and articulate you. Proactive. Our first word is proactive. Proactive. This is a word that describes a core quality of a truly valuable employee or a great leader. To be proactive means to take initiative and to act in advance of a future situation, rather than just waiting for things to happen and then reacting. Think of it like this. A reactive person waits for a fire to start and then grabs a bucket of water. A proactive person is the one who noticed a faulty wire and fixed it before the fire ever had a chance to begin. It shows foresight, responsibility, and a real commitment to success. Imagine you're in a meeting and your team is discussing a big upcoming project. A reactive person might sit quietly, waiting for tasks to be assigned. A proactive person, however, might speak up and say, "I've already been proactive and created a project timeline with clear milestones, so we can all start working with a shared plan from day one." See how that changes the dynamic? Or maybe you're working on a report with a strict deadline. A proactive person would tell their manager, "I was proactive and reviewed the initial project timeline. I think there's a potential bottleneck with the data analysis next week, so I've already reached out to the analytics team to get an early start." This kind of forward thinking demonstrates that you are not just a follower. You are a strategic thinker who takes ownership of their work. Now, for your practice, think about a routine task at your job. Is there a small change you could make or an action you could take to get a step ahead of the game? How would you describe that action using the word proactive? Don't just think it, say it out loud. I'm going to be proactive, and this is how you make the word your own. Leverage. Next up, we have a really powerful verb, leverage, Leverage. When you hear this, don't just think of it as a tool you pull. As a verb, it means to use something to its maximum advantage, to get the biggest possible impact from a resource. It's a strategic word that shows you're thinking smartly about how to use what you have. This could be anything from a skill you possess to data you've collected, or even a relationship you've built with a client. For example, let's say you're trying to get a new project approved. Instead of just saying, "I think this project is a good idea," you could say, "We should leverage the success of our last project, which was very successful." Similar to show our management why this new initiative is a necessary investment. You're using an existing piece of information to your advantage. Or if you're really good at public speaking, you could say, I'm going to leverage my presentation skills to make sure our next pitch is as persuasive as possible. It's about being resourceful and making the most of your assets. Now it's your turn. Think about one of your strengths, either a skill or a piece of information you have at your job. How could you use it to your advantage in a new project or a situation? How would you describe that action using the word leverage? Agile. Our third word is agile, A-G-I-L-E. While its physical meaning is about being quick and nimble, in the workplace, it's all about being mentally and operationally flexible. To be agile is to be able to move and think quickly, adapt to change easily, and respond to new information without being rigid or slow. In today's business world, where market conditions can change in an instant, being agile isn't a nice to have. It's a necessity. It's the opposite of being stuck in the way we've always done things. Think about a new client who suddenly changes their project requirements. An agile team wouldn't panic. They'd quickly regroup and adjust their plan. You might say, our team is truly agile. We were able to quickly adapt to the client's last-minute changes and still deliver on time. Or, in a fast-moving market like this, we need to be an agile organization that can pivot our strategy when necessary. It's a word that communicates resilience, adaptability, and modern thinking. For your practice, consider a time when a plan at work had to be changed at the last minute. How could you describe the need for flexibility in that situation using the word agile? Synergy. Next, let's talk about the magic of teamwork with the word synergy, S-Y-N-E-R-G-Y. This word captures that wonderful feeling when a team works so well together that the combined result is far greater than what any one person could have achieved alone. It's not just collaboration. It's a special kind of powerful, collective energy that comes from a team truly clicking. It's the feeling that the whole is more than the sum of its parts. You'll often hear this in a very positive context, especially after a successful project. A manager might say, the incredible synergy between the marketing and sales teams was the key to this quarter's record-breaking success. Or, we need to find a way to create more synergy in our cross-departmental meetings so we can stop working in silos. This word shows you understand the value of true teamwork and that you appreciate the power of a combined effort. Think back to a time when you and your colleagues worked on a project that turned out exceptionally well. What made it so special? How would you describe that powerful, combined effort using the word synergy? Sustainable. Our fifth word is sustainable, S-U-S-T-A-I-N-A-B-L-E. While this word often makes us think of the environment, in a business context, it means something that can be maintained over a long period of time without causing problems or burning out resources. A sustainable business practice isn't a short-term fix. It's a long-term solution that is built to last. It shows you're thinking about the future, not just the present moment. For example, if a team is working long hours every single week, you might say, this pace is not sustainable. We need to find a better, more realistic, long-term workflow. This shows empathy for your colleagues and a strategic mindset. Or if a new process is being implemented, you could say, the beauty of this new system is that it is sustainable. It can handle our company's growth for the next 5 years without needing a major overhaul. This is a word that communicates forethought and responsible planning. For your practice, think about a process at your job that is working well now. But could it last forever? What's one improvement you could make to ensure it's more sustainable for the future? Streamline. Next up is a verb that's all about efficiency. Streamline. Streamline. To streamline a process means to make it simpler, faster, and more effective by removing anything unnecessary. It's like taking a complicated winding road and turning it into a straight, smooth highway. This word shows that you're focused on making things work better and that you don't accept inefficiency as the norm. Imagine a situation where new employees have to fill out a lot of complicated paperwork. You might suggest, we could streamline our onboarding process by creating a single online form instead of all this paper. Or by using this new software, we'll be able to streamline our communication with clients and eliminate a lot of back and forth emails. This word is positive, action-oriented, and signals that you're a valuable problem solver who thinks about improving processes. For your practice, think about a task or a process at your job that feels a bit slow or confusing. What's one step you could take to streamline it and make it more efficient? Transparency. Our seventh word is absolutely critical for building trust. Transparency. Transparency. This word means being open, honest, and clear in communication. It's about creating an environment where information is accessible to everyone who needs it, and there are no secrets. A transparent workplace is one where people feel included, respected, and confident in their leader's decisions. For instance, a manager might say, "In the interest of transparency, I want to share the company's financial results with all of you, so we can celebrate our successes and understand our challenges together." This fosters a sense of shared purpose. Or if you're working on a project with a client, you might say, "We need to ensure full transparency with our client, sharing our progress and any potential issues as they arise." This builds a foundation of honesty and trust. For your practice, think about a time when clear, open communication was really important at work. How could you describe the need for that communication using the word transparency? Differentiate. Now, for a word that's all about standing out. Differentiate. Differentiate. This verb means to make something distinct or different from others. In a competitive market, whether it's a product, a company, or even your personal skills, it's essential to differentiate yourself from everyone else. This word shows you're thinking strategically about what makes you or your product unique and valuable. You could say, "Our incredible 24/7 customer service is what helps us differentiate ourselves from our competitors." Or, to get the job, you really need to differentiate your skills from the other candidates by highlighting your unique experiences and qualifications. It's about finding your special quality and making sure others see it too. So, for your practice, think about what makes your work or your team unique. How would you describe that special quality using the word differentiate? Tangible. Our ninth word is a great one for showing you're focused on results. Tangible. Tangible. While its literal meaning is able to be touched, in a professional context, it means something that is real, concrete, and measurable. When you talk about tangible results, you're talking about things that you can actually see, count, or prove, not just abstract ideas or wishes. For example, instead of saying, "Our marketing efforts were successful," you could say, "Our new marketing campaign produced a tangible increase of 15% in our website traffic." This sounds so much more professional and confident. Or, "Before we approved this project, we need to know what the tangible outcomes will be. This shows you are results-oriented and focused on real-world impact. For your practice, think about a project you're working on right now. What are the concrete, measurable results you're hoping to achieve? How would you describe them using the word tangible? Cultivate. And our final word for today is a beautiful one that speaks to long-term growth. Cultivate, cultivate. This verb means to foster or nurture the growth of something over time. Just as a gardener cultivates a garden with care and patience, you can cultivate skills, relationships, or a company culture. This word suggests a deliberate, thoughtful, and continuous effort to make something thrive. For instance, you might say, "We need to cultivate a culture of continuous learning within our team." This is much more descriptive and powerful than saying, "We need to learn more." It implies a long-term commitment. You could also say, "It's important to cultivate strong relationships with our clients to ensure their loyalty for years to come." This shows you're thinking about long-term success, not just a quick win. For your final practice, think about a skill, a relationship, or a value that you want to grow at work. How would you use the word cultivate to describe that ongoing process? And there you have it. 10 truly powerful words to help you sound more professional, confident, and articulate at work. Remember, the journey to fluency is a marathon, not a sprint. The goal isn't just to listen for these words, but to understand their nuance and then to feel confident enough to use them yourself. By integrating just a few of these into your vocabulary, you'll be amazed at the difference it makes in how you're perceived and how you communicate your own valuable ideas. Thank you so much for joining me today on English Active Listening. Don't forget to practice these words this week. And I'll see you in our next episode. Goodbye for now.